Hello all, in this particular tutorial, we will learn how to set up the database link from Oracle to SQL Server using Oracle Gateway. Here, Oracle database is running on Windows. So Oracle database on Windows, SQL Server on Windows. So this is the Windows to Windows tutorial. Why use Oracle Gateway when you can use Digi4 ODBC? Digi4 ODBC is included in the database software and does not need additional component. However, it is based on ODBC protocol which has its own limitations. Using Oracle Gateway resolves this limitation. This method does not need any ODBC configuration and does not need any ODBC drivers. This tutorial is done on Oracle 19c running on Windows. We got a local Oracle database called Aura 19d running on a Windows 22 machine. We got remote SQL Server 2022 database called Test MS SQL running on Windows 19. We will be creating DB link in Aura 19d pointing to SQL Server database called Test MS SQL, or in other words, we'll connect to Aura 19d and access tables present in Test MS SQL database. I have not shown how to install Oracle Gateway. The installation of Oracle Gateway is pretty much similar to how you install the Oracle database. Now, what are the steps that we need to do? We have to on the source Oracle database, wherever you have installed your Oracle database is running, on that first thing you have to do is install Oracle Gateway. I have already done this. Once you have installed the Oracle Gateway, then go ahead and under the Gateway Home, we have to do some steps at the Gateway Home and some at the Oracle Home. In the Gateway Home, wherever you have installed the Gateway, create init parameter file called init.mssql.aura. Here, this green MS SQL becomes your SID, system identifier. This becomes your SID. This is very important. And this, you can give whatever name you want to choose. You don't have to choose MS SQL. This is your choice. But whatever you use here, you have to be pretty consistent in the configuration. Any misspelling over here will make the connectivity to not work. So this is very, very important. Once you have created the init parameter file, under the Gateway Home, create a listener. If you don't have the listener, create a listener and then go ahead and register the SID, MS SQL SID in the listener.aura. Once you have done this, your work at the Gateway Home is done. Go ahead and connect to the Oracle Home, and under Oracle Home, create an entry to the TNS names. Create an entry in tnsname.aura file pointing to SID. Which SID? MS SQL. So we will be pointing to this SID from the Oracle Home. At this moment, your configuration is done. You are ready to connect to your database and create DB link. Now, optionally, if you want to create, you can create the synonym. What are the steps that you have to do at MS SQL Server database? Nothing. Everything that we'll be doing is at the source Oracle database. Now that we have seen the steps in high level, let's see the steps in detail. So 3 things at the Gateway Home, 1 thing at the Oracle Home. Finally, connect to the database and create your DB link. Now, this is where I have installed my Gateway, Oracle Gateway. You can install wherever you want. And under the Gateway Home, you will find a directory called Digi4 MSQL. Under that, you will find a directory called admin. Under that, create a file called init.mssql.aura. This MS SQL is your SID. I am repeating it again and again so that you understand that this plays a very crucial role. Now, HSFDS Connect info is also a very important line. This shows where your SQL server is running. So my SQL server is running on a machine called Win19. So this is the machine name or the server name. This is the port name of the SQL instance, and this is the SQL server database name. So we have to specify this in this particular format. Now there are other formats that you can use, or you can, if you don't want, you can always use this particular format. Remember, this has to be done in the Gateway Home. Once you have created the init parameter file, now let's go to the listener.aura again in the Gateway Home. So let's create, if you don't have the listener already, let's create a listener. Make sure to use a different port. You can't use the same port that you are using for the database home. So make sure you have to use a different port. And once the listener is created, do the static registration of this SID, MS SQL, do the static registration using program is equal to Digi4 MS SQL and Oracle Home, which is the Gateway Home. These are the 2 things that we will be doing in the Gateway Home. Once this is done, now it's time to switch to the Oracle Home and create an entry in tnsname.aura pointing to the MS SQL SID and the port 1522. Why we should use 1522? Because that's the listener port that we specified in the gateway home. Now, and this is your choice, whatever name you want to give, this is your choice. Now this is also your choice, whatever you want to give you can give, but once you use whatever name you used here, you have to be pretty consistent in here, and the same thing you have to use here. Any misspelling or anything wrong will not work. It will, your DB link will not work. Now, at this moment, we have done all the 4 steps: gateway home, gateway home, gateway home, Oracle home. We have done this. You are now ready to connect to your database and create the DB link. You can create public or private based on your requirement. So here I have shown how to create a public DB link. So create public database link, name of your choice, MS SQL user. This is the user who has got the access at the SQL instance. Identify the password. This is the password of this user using TNS MS SQL. Now, what is this TNS MS SQL? Whatever you gave here, you have to make sure you use it here. And then once the DB link is done, you are now ready to access the tables from within the SQL server from the Oracle itself. So this is the test table. This is the test table present in this DB link, and this DB link will connect to Windows 19 machine over port 1422 and will access database called test MS SQL. Now, if you don't like this particular format, you can always create synonym. You can create synonym like this: create synonym, name of the synonym for the name of the table over which DB link. Once you do this, then when you run select star from that synonym name, you are actually accessing the test table present in the SQL Server instance over this DB link. Now that we have seen everything, let's go ahead and do this exercise. So there are some things that we need to do at the gateway home, some things at the Oracle home, and finally connect to your database. Let's go one by one. So what we need to do in the gateway home, init parameter file, listener, register SID. So where is my gateway home? So let's show you. So this is where, so under the, let me show it to you. So under the C drive Oracle, you can see I got the database home. So this is my database home. This is my gateway home. So this is how my configuration looks like. So I got the database software under C drive Oracle. Now that's your choice how you want to install. You can install based on however you want. So I got Oracle home here. I got the gateway home here. Under the gateway home, first thing we need to do is under the gateway home, we will find a folder called dg4 msql. Under that admin, we have to create init msql.ora. Let's do that. So let's go to gateway home. Let's go to dg4 msql. Let's go to admin. Now here you can see this is the sample file which is already provided by the Oracle. You can copy and modify it based on your requirement, or what you can do, you can create a new file. Let's create a new blank file, init msql.ora. And remember that extension should be .ora. Now this is the blank file. Let's add these 4 lines into this particular file. And again, host name of SQL instance, port of SQL instance, database, SQL database. This is pretty much very important. Once we have done this, let's save this. Now, again, the second step is creating the listener and registering the entry. So let's do that both. So let's go to again, this we have to do in the gateway home. So let's go to gateway home. So I'm back into the Oracle gateway. Under that, you will find a folder called network. Under that, you will find admin. Here, if you already have the listener, you can modify that listener. And if you don't have the listener, let's create one. So let's say listener.ora. And this is again a blank file. Let's create a listener with the port 1522. And let's do the static registration. So the listener is 1522. Name of the listener is listener. And then we are doing the static registration of SID MSQL with dg4 MSQL as a program and gateway home. So this is your last step in the gateway home. Now the listener is created, but listener is not running. The listener is definitely not running. So let's actually start the listener. Now, since we have 2 different homes, we need to make sure that we set the Oracle home and gateway home, etc. So let's actually launch command prompt. I'll do it fresh. So let's launch the command prompt. Let's clean this up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the gateway Oracle home as the gateway home, Oracle base as gateway base, and append the path. Once this is done, now let's start our listener from the gateway home. So lsnr start, and let's give it a few seconds for the listener to start. So starting listener, give it a few more seconds. It should start within few seconds. On Windows, the listener is actually an additional process, takes a bit of time. So now you can see we got from the gateway home, you can see from the gateway home, we got the listener running 1522. And if you notice something, MS SQL is registered with this listener. Why did MS SQL got registered with this listener? Because we specified the static registration called MS SQL. So that looks good. So we got we got everything done at the gateway home. So we have completed 3 steps. We have created init parameter file, we created a listener, we registered SID in the listener.aura, and we can see that that SID is now registered with our listener. Let's go ahead and connect to our database home. So let's close this. Let's go to the database home. So our database home is in the C drive Oracle V19 database. And what we need to do in the database home, we have to create an entry in the tnsnames.aura pointing to SID. That's the only thing that we have to do in the Oracle home or the database home. So let's go to the Oracle home or the database home. Under that network, under that admin, under that tnsnames.aura, you can see we don't have any entry for the MS SQL. So let's go ahead and if you want, you can get rid of this. And what we are going to do, we are going to add an entry. So let's add something like this into our TNS entry. So now what this does, this 1522 is the port that we specified here in the gateway home listener. 1522 is the port of our database is running on 1521. The database listener is running on 1521. This is the gateway listener, and that is running on 1522. The SID is MSQL and HS is equal to OK. Once you have done this, let's save this. Let's go open another command prompt. And what we are going to do, let's again clean this up. And what we are going to do, we are going to set the Oracle home, etc. again back, because we need to tell Oracle which home to look for. So this is the Oracle home. And now what we are going to do, we are going to do TNS ping to TNS underscore MSQL. We are going to do this, and you can see we got connected to Win22 port 1522, HS is equal to OK, SID is equal to MSQL. Response OK, 0 millisecond, which means that as of now, looks like whatever we have done is perfectly fine. At this moment, your work is done. You can connect to your Oracle database. So let's go ahead and connect to our Oracle database, and let's see if we can create the DB link. Now, let's do that here. So to create the DB link, you can create public or private. Let's say create public database link, name of your choice. The user, MS SQL user, who is the SQL Server user. This is the password of this user, and this is the TNS entry that we used in the TNS file. So here, whatever entry, whatever name that you gave here, you have to use that name here. So now let's go ahead and create this DB link. And if the DB link is created, and if everything that we have done now is good, then we should be able to access this test table from this DB link, which is actually in the SQL Server instance. Let's verify that. Let's run this, and you can see we got one MS SQL DB. Now, how do I prove to you that this is actually MS SQL DB? So let's go to our SQL Server 2022 instance. Let's run this query, select start from test, and you can see one MS SQL DB, one MS SQL DB. So this data is coming from SQL Server instance, which is SQL 2022 instance, and the database it is accessing is the test MS SQL, and it is actually retrieving the data from this particular table. So you can see select from test MS SQL, and this is the database name, this is the schema, and this is the test, and it is retrieving this data. Now, if you don't believe me, if you still don't believe me that it is coming from SQL, let me do something for you. Let me insert a new record into this SQL Server instance. So let's done. one row affected. Let's verify that record is present in SQL database. So now we got 2 records. Let's go back to our Oracle. What do you think will happen? We should be able to see 2 records. Let's hit enter and we got the second record that we inserted in the SQL, which means that we have made a connectivity to our SQL instance using the Oracle gateway. Now, finally, I would like to say that if you don't like this particular syntax, you can always create the synonym. This synonym says that you are pointing to this table over this DB link. So let's go ahead and create the synonym. That's done. Now, when I run the query against the synonym, it's going to access this table over this DB link and we can get the data. So you can see we got the same data. So in this particular tutorial, we learned how to set up the database link from Oracle to SQL using Oracle Gateway, and in this tutorial, Oracle database was running on Windows. I hope this tutorial was useful. If you did like this video, if you do like my channel, do hit the subscribe button, do hit the like button. Thank you for watching and see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.